I'm here today to show you a way where you, probably almost all of you, can make an even more profound impact on the XR industry, starting right now. And probably it'll also give you a lead into this whole new era of indoor and outdoor AR glasses. So, I'm Sven. I've been king of the geeks all my life. I've played from Atari on, was involved in the very first video game magazine in my country, was one of the earliest people within Larian Studios. I don't know if any of you here played Baldur's Gate. Statistically, there should be some of them. Started the very first mobile gaming company in my country, and then afterwards I worked at PlayStation Magazine, so I was on the inside of the video game world for a long time. And through all of that career in the video game world, which is basically the precursor to the XR industry, I learned one thing. And there's not too many people all the way in front on stage. Any ideas what this is? No scientists? One guess? No? This is the dopamine molecule. It's basically what gets you out of bed in the morning, what makes some people reach for their phone to check Twitter or any other account. It's what does that triggers almost all of the things we do digitally. And in the last decade, the control over those dopamine triggers have been really dominated by those few big players, to an extent that a lot of people within the creator world as well have kind of lost track in it, because we don't really have control in it anymore. But everybody knows this whole Web 2, Web 1, Web 2, Web 3 evolution. Now that we're coming to the Web 3 era, a lot of that stuff is again going to change. So as soon as my co-founder and the team of engineers that we gathered around us kind of understood, like, oh, this is going to be a big shift and we need to be involved in this, we started gathering data, doing research, looking for a way, how can we really make a big impact? Now, I know I'm probably standing here before you today that, hey, this is one of the many guys that says, like, oh, I have this amazing solution or this amazing new insight. I get contacted by experts, I guess, on a daily basis on LinkedIn. But at least I'm standing here before you as somebody who worked at a company who only did augmented reality for the last 6.5 years and has done a hell of a lot of research. And the first thing we understood is that if you take a step back from augmented reality, it's just another medium. It's just like audio is a medium, print is a medium, still images are a medium, moving images are a medium. And a medium doesn't explode when it gets invented, because anybody here, like, what was the first internet browser? Does anybody know? Thank you. Netscape Navigator. And yeah, and Mosaic basically before that, but Netscape was the one that made it big. That was 13 years after the internet got invented, which is proof that a new medium doesn't explode when the medium gets invented. It starts accelerating when somebody invents a really standardized way of controlling it. And that is, in our first year of research, what we did. So we tried to figure out, hey, what is the ideal way for people to interact with mobile AR? And as it turns out, it was a lot closer to us, not to say that it was right in front of us, because the user interface, AR, mobile, you see through a camera. We're all used to a user interface camera, and that is what we created with our company. So our user interface, it looks almost identical to your photo camera user interface, which means you can give it to a kid which is 5 years old. If you have any 5-year-olds, you probably know how easy they take pictures with your phone. I do. As well as to 85-year-old. So we started building that main system and getting all the functionalities of mobile AR into the same let's call it philosophy of the way of doing things with mobile AR. And the thing we realized when we came to the end of the road of that was you're still going to need somebody who's there the first time to explain it to you, which was a big issue until we realized, hey, we're doing AR. We can create that person. So I don't know if any of you guys tried the companion app we released a few days ago, the augmented reality companion app. It's, if you go and look at our booth, there's this little QR code that has a demo of what such a character is and how he explains to you how this whole new mobile AR thing works. And after we did those 2 steps, we started looking for, like, now we need to test this technology, so we started looking for assignments. And one of the assignments that fell in our lap and where we want to test the hypothesis, if you do amazing, engaging content, can you then create a user base broad enough to do advertisement later on? That first project is called FAAM. It's an overarching platform for everything cultural and history in the Flemish region of Belgium. So I'd like to introduce Wim to the stage now, who's the project leader of FAAM, who's going to show you what happens if you integrate this kind of system into your platform. Wim?
Thank you very much, Sven. So hi, my name is Wim Putzeys. I work as a project manager for the Department of Culture, Youth and Media in Flanders. Complicated situation. It's a region in Belgium. And a couple of months ago, we launched FAAM, a virtual museum about the history and culture of Flanders as commissioned by the Flemish government. FAAM is basically, or let me first start by asking a question before we dive into FAAM and how it leverages AR. How many of you have fond memories of your history lessons back in school? Oh, I see one hand, but a careful hand. Usually the response to this question is less than overwhelmingly enthusiastic, and that is the issue that we try to address with FAAM. A virtual museum as a platform for digital storytelling to engage people with history. Stories not just about famous people and famous works of art in far-off places and in distant times, but stories about how history connects to our daily lives, to how we work and how we eat, how we have fun, how we learn, how we believe or how we don't. FAAM invites you to discover every square meter of Flemish history using your mobile browser or the native app. And in the map in FAAM, you can actually see history all around you. We have worked in the run-up to the launch of FAAM with hundreds of heritage organizations to be able to provide new stories continually to our users right now. And we've used a range of formats to do that. We have visually driven scroll stories that take you through history. We have animated explorations through history. We have games full of riddles and puzzles and search quests to play your way through history. And all of those stories are really very short. They're more like teasers. And they want to encourage you to get up and get out and explore more. So there's hundreds of pointers in FAAM to heritage places and events around Flanders. FAAM teamed up with Tropos AR and various heritage experts to develop augmented reality as one of the key formats in the virtual museum, because it gives us some unique advantages when it comes to digital storytelling. First of all, It allows you to interact with what is no longer there, as in this example of a 19th century steamship of the Red Star Line Company, which is virtually docked in Antwerp, and which transported thousands of refugees and immigrants from all over Europe through Antwerp to the New World. We found that AR engages children and teenagers and adults alike.
Voor velen was migreren een harde tijd. Dokters stelden bij.
And we can use it to entice them to come right up to the doorstep of heritage places and experience some of the stories inside at any time of the day. And finally, AR allows us to show where history actually happened, as in this example of a mammoth which roamed the tundra 30,000 years ago in what is today the town of Dendermonde, and which really enriches people's appreciation and understanding of the place that they live in. At this moment, we have about 24 of these AR experiences in FAAM, but we're planning to add quite a few more in the coming months and years, as we want to explore the new opportunities that this medium allows us to bring history to life. And with this, Sven, I hand back over to you. Thank you.
Yeah. I must say, like, our team was so fortunate to be able to do FAAM. We did massive AR content right from just on the beaches all the way up to almost our borders with Germany. 24 massive AR experiences which are interactive and the highest level of augmented reality that we did. But that's not the only thing we did with our underlying Tropos AR system. We did art for one of the biggest art institutes, welcoming people in hotels, building a lot of user engagement and fan engagement stuff for banks, all built on how can you trigger the dopamine molecule, not in a way that it's addicting, but in a way that gets people out of their homes, like for FAAM, all the way into the main square of a city, to trigger them there, to make them happy, and then make them basically visit the museum. And what we see now is, with that underlying structure being there, we now see a way bigger movement of way bigger platforms coming in there. One of them, which I want to briefly touch on here, is AnyCrowd. They're like the rising star in the events business. So they do. We're from Belgium. We don't do a lot of stuff well, but we can sure throw a party. So we do a lot of festivals in Belgium. One of them, which is the biggest in the world, Tomorrowland. Those guys have an app framework for festivals and more. And they came to us and they said, oh, we love the technology and we love especially how we can build solutions with this. So they went to the drawing board. And if you've ever been to a festival, the biggest issue at the festival is finding your friends once you've lost them. And they came to us hey, can we give people with the app, everybody has their app at a festival, can we give them the power to just say hey, here we are, let's put this big stuff in front of me, above me. And of course that's doable. And in less than, I think, 2 weeks when they first thought of the idea, they had this whole range of large companies. This is the biggest telecom provider, but Red Bull, Coca-Cola, all wanting in because they know it's an amazing solution, it's going to get used a lot, it's a lot of visibility, and you can bring in a lot of monetization in that. So that is one of the companies that not only sees the benefits of building real valuable solutions with mobile AR, but also next to dopamine, those guys, I guess there should be one scientist in that crew, because they immediately found out in total there's 4 molecules that make life fun. And how can you trigger the other ones? One is linked to humor, one is linked to being close to each other, and one is linked to nature. So the message I want to leave you guys with today is stop looking at mobile AR as just a means to do amazing advertisement, because it's true, it's an amazing tool for advertisement. But once you start looking at it as a medium, and create real value, you're going to be able to do a lot more advertisements beyond that. But that value, we see so many use cases today. I'm going to name just a few. I got a new car 8 months ago. I'm a big guy, as you can see. My girlfriend isn't. There's this easy solution. It even has like a button 1 and 2 in the main seat. For 8 months, I have not been able to figure it out. Stuff like that can easily be solved with mobile augmented reality. In the video game world, as fan engagement, to solve all kinds of issues, because if you've used the companion app we've created, you will see how easy it is to do a conversation with a character. Those tools are very powerful to go to your users with real solutions, to get more engagement to your app, and to actually build that underlying structure so people are used to AR as something that helps them, and then they will accept way more if you bring in the occasional advertiser or brand. So yeah, that's my presentation for today. If you guys have any questions, we still have some time left. Or if not, you can always find us at our booth, which is 215 instead of 415, I say. Thank you.